Hi guys, I'm Hillary Mulick, a wedding photographer and educator based in North Carolina, and welcome to another episode on my YouTube channel. So today I have a really exciting topic for you guys. I'm going to be sharing 5 tips for Instagram marketing, which I'm super excited about. Now, before I jump into those tips, I first wanted to share that I do have a freebie for you guys in the description below. I'm sharing my pre-wedding questionnaire. Now, my pre-wedding questionnaire is the questionnaire that I send to all my couples 4 months before their wedding day. It helps me collect all the information on the vendors they're working with, their timeline, photos that they're really excited about, details that are important to them, family shot list, just basically everything that I need to know as a wedding photographer prior to their wedding so that I can prepare, and when the wedding day comes, everything is set in stone. I know the timeline, I know what's important to them, and they can just relax and enjoy their wedding day and not have to be worried about photography because I'm going to take care of everything. So I'm all about preparation and preparing and organizing, and the pre-wedding questionnaire is a big part of how I do that. So make sure to download the freebie in the description so that you can get a copy of my pre-wedding questionnaire and start giving it to your clients. All right, let's dive in. So today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 tips to Instagram marketing. I polled you guys on Instagram and I asked you, what are some things that you would be interested in learning from me? And a lot of you said marketing, which marketing is kind of a broad term. It's like marketing and what? And I dug a little deeper, and a lot of you were interested in tips specifically to marketing to your couples on Instagram. So I came up with 5 tips to help you market yourselves to couples on Instagram so that you can get more bookings, make more money, and live a happier life within your business and within your personal life. So after digging a little deeper, I found that a lot of you were interested specifically in Instagram marketing and how to market yourselves to couples who are interested in booking a wedding photographer and how best to do that. Posting and on your feed, posting to your stories, just interacting with your audience in general on a regular basis. This doesn't mean that you have to be on Instagram every single second of the day. You need to create a schedule that works for you, but you certainly cannot show up on Instagram every single hour on Monday and then nothing on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then do like one post and maybe one story on Thursday, and that's not consistent at all. What you need is a consistent schedule to stick to so that your audience knows what to expect from you and how often that you are posting, and they just know that they can rely on you. And I think this translates into how you are as a business owner as well. So when someone is looking to book you, they're going to probably be looking at your Instagram and seeing how consistent you are with your posts and just how you interact with your audience and how you interact on Instagram stories, because that's going to be a reflection on how you are as a business owner. So one major tip that I want to give you on how to be consistent in posting is get a Instagram management system that helps you post and helps you organize so that you can be more consistent and utilize that auto posting feature. Did you know that you can auto post to Instagram? You can in your feed, you cannot in your stories. So what I use is a program called Planoly. I'll link it in the description so that you can download a free trial and check it out. Planoly helps me to upload photos, write captions ahead of time, tag vendors in the photos, create hashtags. I basically do all of my Instagram planning ahead of time for my feed, and it is amazing. It's really been a huge weight off my shoulders to just take a day and just to batch plan everything for an entire month at a time, really. So I highly recommend looking into Planoly so that you can start managing your Instagram and being more consistent so that your audience knows what to expect from you. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Planoly and just the behind the scenes on more in depth on how I use Planoly, I've already made a YouTube video on this and I'll link it in the description as well. My second tip to Instagram marketing is by utilizing wedding vendors in the area. And reaching out to them and doing shout outs to them. So what I mean by that, there's 3 ways you could do this. So one is if you've already shot a wedding, when you're posting that image to your feed or when you're posting that image to your Instagram stories, make sure that you are tagging every single vendor that worked on that event. This is a great marketing tool because when they see themselves tagged in it, they are more likely to repost it to their own stories and to their own feed and tag you because you tagged them. Then their audience is able to take a look at your stuff as well. So you're sharing their work with your audience and they're going to start sharing your work with their audience. Does that make sense? So the great thing about making sure you're taking the time to tag all the vendors in the caption as well as the image is because it makes the likelihood that those vendors are going to repost that image greater, so that now their audience is going to have eyes on you, and it gives you more engagement, and it also increases your following as well. It's really awesome. The second way to do this, if you haven't shot a wedding with these vendors yet, put together a styled shoot. Now, I think there's a little bit of a misconception about styled shoots that they need to be basically an exact reflection of a wedding day. There needs to be a full reception setup. There needs to be a full ceremony setup. There needs to be a bride and groom. There needs to be, getting ready and all this stuff so that it just mimics a full wedding day. Styled shoots do not need to be that broad. A styled shoot could simply be you reaching out to a florist and being like, I want to work with you and I want to photograph some of your work for free so that you can use it on your Instagram account and I can use it on my Instagram account because your work is beautiful. Would you be interested in collaborating on something like that? And that is a styled shoot. You simply photographing this really gorgeous bouquet or this really gorgeous tablescape for a couple, for one or two or three vendors, and being able to use those images in your feed and share those images to them so that they can use it in their feed and tag you as well. So that is a really great way to market on Instagram and be able to share your audience with these vendors, and these vendors will share their audience with you. The third way that you can feature local vendors that you maybe haven't shot a wedding with, maybe you haven't done a styled shoot with, but you can still feature them, is by just posting some of their work to your Instagram stories and tagging them. So I've done this a lot and it's gotten me a lot of engagement and even some followers as well. So what I do is, for example, there might be a florist in my area that I've been dying to work with, but I haven't been able to shoot a wedding where I'm photographing their work, or we've never been able to do a styled shoot together. So what I'll do instead is I will go to some of my favorite images in their feed of work that they've done, and I will post those to my Instagram stories, and I'll say, hey, shout out to this amazing florist. They live in my area. I just love their work. Definitely go check them out. Now, I'm not doing this expecting them to repost. I want to be able to show my love to the community and show my love to the vendors that live here in my area. But more likely what is going to happen is they are going to see that you posted about them in your stories and be so excited that they're going to repost that to their stories and share that with their audience, so that their audience is going to be pointed to your Instagram page. And you're going to get an increase of following and an increase of traffic and engagement because of that. So reaching out and to other vendors and tagging them in your captions, tagging them in your stories, posting their work to their stories, that is going to help drive traffic to your Instagram account as well as their Instagram account. And it's just amazing overall, and you're gonna be able to get some new followers because of it. All right, my third Instagram marketing tip is utilizing hashtags. Now, you probably hear this a lot. Make sure you use all 30 hashtags in your caption. I usually like to put it in the first comment actually, so that it doesn't look too cluttery in my caption. But one thing they're probably not doing is taking your captions and making them really local and really specific. So for example, if you post a wedding image and you just use the hashtag wedding photography, that hashtag is not going to do anything for you. That hashtag is way too broad. If you look up the hashtag wedding photography, it probably has a bajillion posts in it. So anyone who's ever going to research that hashtag is probably never going to come across your image. Now, if you're utilizing more specific hashtags, so for example, I live in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I'm going to tag my images Winston-Salem photographer, Winston-Salem wedding, Winston-Salem venue, Winston-Salem couple, North Carolina wedding, North Carolina wedding photography. Like, if you're going to post hashtags, make sure you're being really specific so that you can attract those specific brides. Because what's going to happen is a couple who's maybe hoping to get married in Winston-Salem, they're going to go onto Instagram and they're going to look up, they haven't booked their venue yet, they haven't booked their photographer yet. They're going to be looking up Winston-Salem photographers, Winston-Salem weddings, Winston-Salem wedding venues. Think of the hashtags that they're going to be looking up, and you want to make sure that all of your images are under those hashtags. And that's going to be a way better use of the 30 hashtags that you use and a way better use of your marketing so that you're actually getting couples that are able to book you and not just throwing out hashtags that are too broad. So make sure to make your hashtags really specific and really local to you. My fourth Instagram marketing tip is making sure to engage with your audience as well as other audiences. Instagram is first and foremost a social media platform. And if you are only utilizing it by posting and not ever replying to your DMs, not ever replying to your comments, not ever interacting with other accounts and other accounts in your feed, you are not doing Instagram correctly and you're not going to be getting a lot of engagement because of it. So what I highly recommend doing is, if you're not already, replying to all of your DMs, replying to all of your Instagram comments. And a good rule of thumb in doing this is basically matching the comment that they comment on you. So for example, if someone only comments with an emoji, I'm probably not gonna do this like full long, like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for this wonderful emoji, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not gonna write all that out. I might reply with another emoji. If they reply back, this is a really beautiful image, you did an amazing job on this, I'm going to match that comment and say, thank you so much, that was super sweet, I really loved working at this venue, or whatever. That's a good rule of thumb when replying to your DMs and replying to your comments. Another thing in the same vein of engagement is engaging with other accounts as well. You should not only be engaging with your account, you should be engaging with other accounts. And this is a great marketing tool. What I do a lot is I will research different hashtags. I'll search different vendors in my area. So for example, if there's a bridal boutique in your area, chances are there's a lot of engaged couples who are following that bridal boutique and planning on getting their wedding dress at that bridal boutique, but they just haven't booked a wedding photographer yet. So I'll go to this bridal boutique's page and go to some of their most recent posts, and I'll look and see who's been commenting on it, who's been liking it, and I will go to those people's page and I'll start interacting with them. And I'll, say, oh my gosh, congratulations on your engagement. That's such a cool picture. I'll just start interacting with them a little bit to just get them used to seeing my name and seeing my profile. And, when they see me interacting with them, they're like, oh, who's this Hillary Mulick girl? And so they might click on my profile and they might end up following me. And then when they are looking for a wedding photographer, they're going to come back to me and maybe hire me. This is a technique that I've done a bunch of times, and I've gotten bookings from weddings from doing this. So definitely a really great Instagram marketing tip for you guys. All right, the fifth Instagram marketing tip that I'm going to share with you is utilizing Reels. Now, Instagram Reels is a new feature that's on Instagram. They're kind of like little commercials. They're only about 15 to 30 seconds long. They're made to be super to the point and not long. So IGTVs can be many minutes long, and a lot of times people won't sit and watch them for that long, whereas Instagram Reels is more of a commercial, so it's really quick, you're getting your point across really quickly, and this is a great way to increase your engagement on Instagram and to increase your bookings as well by drawing couples to your account based on the content that you're providing. So I would think, as a wedding photographer, I'm always thinking, what are some questions that a lot of clients keep asking me? They ask me about the difference between a first look and an aisle reveal. They ask me about my booking process. They ask me about, my wedding planning guide. They ask me about engagement sessions and how to dress for those. These are all questions that I'm getting asked a lot, and it would be really easy to put together a 15-second reel that I could post to my Instagram page and share to my Instagram stories. And Instagram right now is prioritizing Reels over regular Instagram stories, over IGTVs, over regular posts in your feed. So the more you're utilizing this tool of Instagram Reels, and by posting your content to help draw in other couples who are looking to book their wedding photographers, that's going to be a great marketing tool for you. And I definitely recommend utilizing that. All right, that was it. Those are my 5 Instagram marketing tools. I hope those were helpful for you. Again, in the description below, I have the link to my pre-wedding questionnaire. As a wedding photographer, I think it's super important to be able to prep and be organized and get the timeline together, get the shot list together, do all of that ahead of time prior to the wedding. And my pre-wedding questionnaire is how I do that every time. So make sure you download that for free and you can start using that with your own couples. I'm also gonna link below my resources page. Now on my website, I have a photographer resources page that links all of the programs that I use throughout my business, including Planoly that I recommended today. So you can go ahead and click the link there and start your free trial with Planoly, see if it would be great for you, as well as visit my resources page so that you can see all the tools that I use in my photography business, as well as my gear list, different business books that I think are helpful, different YouTube videos that I think are helpful. The resource page basically has everything that you as a wedding photographer would need, and all of those resources are for free. So make sure to check that out, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Thanks for listening.